Puppet master, girl, you are. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12 episode I Don't Know. You can clearly tell that Nene is still the puppet master. She might need to be the puppet master in them jobs, but she is definitely puppeteering Yovanna and Cynthia, even though Cynthia's like no strings attached, in sync type of tease. But this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta was funny. She was cute. It was giving us something towards the end, like always. But let's get into this review. So we start off, and Cynthia is talking to Porsha. She's telling Porsha about the BaileyQ that she's doing, and she wants, you know, Porsha to come through. Porsha's talking about, so she got some nanny situation going on. She might have to bring a child. And Cynthia said, well, I did tell Eva, and Eva, you know, Eva wasn't gonna bring her kids no way. And Porsha makes a joke about that because y'all know Eva's like, she don't bring her kids around with certain energies, and that was kind of a dig a little bit towards Kenya. And Kenya did not like that, so Kenya is going to react on this episode. So Porsha and Kenya end up meeting up in Walmart's break room to do this little dance class. Girl, that whole dance class, the baby dance class stuff, girl, I was like, it looked like the intentions were really, really cute, but girl, when I saw them chairs, do y'all know them old school 1995 them chairs that we used to go over Full House and they used to have them out like but Porsha and Kenya dragging each other being funny because Kenya is dressed up to come to this class with heels on, and Porsha dressed like she just comfortable, and Porsha looking like, girl, why you dressed like that? And then Kenya is dragging Porsha for working with Baby Pilar. It's really cute to see them like slight shade each other considering their history. I love to see it. So we move on to Riley, and Riley is about to take an intern job for a couple of months with Candy's entertainment lawyer. And Candy shares that she has been trying to get, you know, Riley wants to be a lawyer, and she's been like getting her these little things and stuff. But I think it's very smart for Candy to do that. Like Candy has like is setting Riley up to be able to survive without her. Even though Riley has been like afforded all of these things and apparently don't know that some refrigerators don't have an ice maker. Girl, what? But I think this is really cute for Candy, you know, doing this with Riley, because I was a little bit nervous in the beginning with Riley. I was like, I hope Riley can go outside the nest, because it seemed like Candy kind of babied her a little bit. But Riley's looking beautiful. She's glowing. She's just like ready to tackle the world. Looks like it. And I'm excited about what she's going to do in her future. So we get Todd's daughter. I think her name is Kayla. And Kayla just looking like, girl, like it's another day. Riley's getting expensive things. And my dad is just like, we don't do that here. We're going to work to build character. And I think that I like Todd, but I think Todd takes that old school approach, and it's that old school approach, that old school parenting is not going to make the kids in this day and age survive in this world. It's just not. And I have to explain it to my father, and I have to explain it to my parents and stuff like, you know, y'all had it kind of I'm not gonna say y'all, I don't think any generation had it easier, but I think things have changed and you don't see it the same way. Just like it was easy for, you know, our parents, some of our parents and previous generations to be able to go out and get a job to make $20 an hour in the factory and stuff. And those jobs don't exist anymore. And some of the folks, the economy is so messed up that some of y'all who had those jobs 20 years ago still working those jobs now. Like, my dad is one of those folks. Like, he's a steel worker. He was working in there, like working a job 25, 30 years, and it just is what it is. And they have to keep working even though they should have retired 3 years ago. Like, you see that now. And Kayla is just dealing with that. And I think we're gonna get into a conversation with Kayla and Todd, because the next episode they're gonna talk about, you know, Todd not showing any emotion, and I can definitely see that. A lot of black men deal with that. My father's one of them. And one of my old roommates, Brown, y'all remember Brown? We was in the army together. He was like that with his children too, and he said he's gotten better with that, but just not showing emotion. And I, for some reason, I'm always attracting men who do not know how to show emotion. It is very interesting. But Riley is going to be in New York with a friend in the family that's going to kind of babysit her a little bit. And I think this is cute for Riley. I think this is like getting Riley prepared to be able to deal with other things without Candy. And I think it's nice. And Todd making the jokes about, oh, you know, money, this and that. I think that gets on Riley's nerves. I can kind of tell that Riley gets tired of hearing that. And Riley, like, you know, I respect you. I'm not saying this is what Riley feels, but I can tell a little bit that Riley might get like, girl, I get tired of hearing you say that. Just because you want to raise Kayla like that doesn't mean my mama's going to do that. But we don't know. We're not inside their family like that. So we get to Porsha, and Porsha is struggling to find a nanny. I think Porsha is a mixture between Porsha being picky, and I think Porsha probably don't want to pay no real nanny budget. I think having a nanny is real expensive, and I think what Porsha is asking ain't probably what Porsha wants to pay. And this ain't no shade to Porsha, but I know Porsha ass is probably cheap. And nannies are not, well, if you talking about a nanny like being in there, like that's money. And what I think what Porsha is trying to do is Porsha probably trying to pay somebody a babysitter budget and have them do nanny duties. And it's just like, girl, you get like, that's a real like job. Like it's a lot of folks, like I think Kim and Kanye have a nanny. A lot of, you know, folks who got some coin be having like nannies who live with them almost. And that stuff ain't cheap. So Cynthia's talking to Eva, and she's just telling Eva the problem that she faced trying to get the girls to come and not bring their kids, and how it was unsuccessful with Porsha because Porsha don't have a nanny. So Cynthia said, girl, bring your child. So Cynthia, being an adult, calls King and said, you know what, Porsha went ahead and she really going through some stuff. So I said, come on. So I'm telling you to come on. And it seemed like Kenya was not interested in that. Kenya was very petty in that moment. She was just like, you know, thanks Kenya, I got something together, da da da. And she hung up on her. She said, bye. And I know that Cynthia was hurt by that. And I don't like Kenya treating Cynthia like that. I really don't like Kenya treating Cynthia like that, because I don't think Cynthia is a bad person or trying to be bad. But I just think that Kenya is a little bit irritated for whatever reason by Cynthia, and Cynthia ain't did nothing for me to see for Kenya to be acting this type of way. So Eva's like, girl, I told y'all had a problem with me saying I ain't bringing my kids. Now y'all out here dealing with that. So girl, it's some shade, So all the girls sit down together and they are talking. And Yovanna is just messy. You can just tell Yovanna is trying to work to be the mouthpiece for Nene leaks enough to her to get some type of friendship. So Yovanna starts to chime in about something that Cynthia said about Nene. And Cynthia just goes in on Yovanna like, girl, no, everything I told you, like basically I'll say it to Nene too, like girl, I ain't looking for you to be out here, you know, telling Nene what I said, and girl, I ain't asked you to come here. And like Cynthia is going clean off. And I can respect Cynthia, but you can tell that Yovanna is thirsty for attention. Now here's what it is, Nene is using Yovanna. And I don't see how people ain't seeing that. I know some other folks probably see it, but Nene is using Yovanna. She's like, oh yeah, she's cool, da da da. Girl, Nene was cool with Tanya too, and then when Tanya started doing a little bit more, Nene didn't want to be cool with her. Nene only likes befriending people who are quote unquote less valuable than her. Like you can pay attention to that. Like Nene does not like to be with somebody that's getting a little bit more social media like fame, or not just that. But anytime somebody has more capital, social capital, than Nene, they ain't interested in it. When Tanya's like, people started to like Tanya, Nene wasn't interested in it. She wasn't interested in Tanya, like seeming as though she got more money than Nene. Nene is just not here for it. And she's doing the same thing with Yovanna. She's doing the same thing, projecting like, oh yeah, she's cool, and da da da, and you know, blah blah. So Yovanna is using Nene too. And Yovanna does not mind doing the work for Nene for her to have a little, you know, side gig of being on Housewives. So it's a mess. So like I said, Cynthia is getting her together, and Yovanna's just like, okay, girl, I'm gonna let you live. So the girls in the other room, Kenya comes in, and she maybe actually want these lobster tails. I want to make some lobster tails. I've never made lobster tails before. So Kenya comes in, she brings a gift, and she hands it to Porsha, and Porsha says, girl, look, I got you a gift or whatever, and it's the doll. Candy already told her that was messy. That was very messy for her to bring that doll. She could have just not used it. She gives it to Porsha, tells her that it had a previous home, and Porsha's like, whose house was it at? So Kenya says it, and Porsha said, girl, we finna end it now. Porsha goes outside and says to Eva that, girl, you know she trying to give me this doll, like, y'all need to end this now, this is messy. And Eva like, what's wrong with my doll? Like, Eva is just playing like, girl, what's wrong with the doll? What's the issue? And it's just a mess. So Kenya is like trying to explain to Eva like how she felt about the comment about the child stuff and and how it made her feel. She was just like, girl, you know, you said this. You said something about the energy and stuff. And Eva's trying to clean it up. And you said, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. And I'm going to tell you right here and there. But Eva, when they were rolled the clip back, it did come off as though, and I saw it too, it did seem as though you were like uncomfortable around bringing your children around Kenya because you didn't know her energy. That's what you said. And the way you gave it off is that you didn't feel comfortable. Nothing how you said that seemed like you were trying to be like, oh well, girl, I just don't know Kenya like that. But it just didn't sound right. So we are seeing how Eva always says stuff and then she does not remember what she says after, and they put the clip up. So they are preparing us for some mess later on because Eva keeps doing this, where she'll say something and then she'll like, okay, that's not what I said, and it's a mess. So they're going in, Marlo comes in, and next thing you know, Marlo and Kenya going at it. And it's just Marlo versus Kenya. I think Marlo versus Eva. Yes, like she was going in on Eva too. She going in on well, she wasn't really going in on Yovanna. Like she's just like, it was a lot. So Eva and Marlo, they going back and forth. Eva said, girl, you know what? I don't have time for this. And Marlo is just not finna get to Eva with that living above your means stuff. Like it just, Marlo keeps saying that about Eva, and it's funny. And it's funny two times because, girl, half of the folks on this show live above their means, and that's no tea, no shade. Half of everybody on this in the United States live above their means. Like, girl, we get into the conversation about your mortgage and your rent. It's only supposed to be this amount of money on your budget, and girl, a lot of us go over that. I think it's supposed to be like 30% or something, and a lot of us go more than that. But Marlo, girl, you best friends with Nene, and Nene. Like, we ain't seen Nene go broke, but you can tell that Nene can't leave the show because she needs that check. She ain't been able to make it without this show yet. So, girl, cut it out. But it's funny seeing it because a lot of them kind of fake it till they make it. Like, Nene was doing it in the beginning, too. And that's what what's not used to shade her about. Like, Housewives of Atlanta has a history of doing that mess. So Eva ends up leaving. Then they get into the conversation about Cynthia being slick addicted a little bit to folks with strong personalities, with Nene, with Kenya, and girl, you even had Cynthia's sister jump in and say, girl, yeah, because you know Kenya talks to you any type of way and I don't like it. I feel like Cynthia's sister was being, I can't think of her name right now, I think she was being very honest and saying, yeah, girl, Kenya do talk to you any type of way, and you kind of passive aggressive with it. Like, you let them talk to you kind of crazy sometimes, and everybody was in agreement. So Cynthia said, that's not the case. That's not what's going on. I don't have no problem getting anybody together. Like if I felt some type of way, I would get somebody together. And girl, when Porsha said, oh girl, bye. Everybody laughed. Everybody laughed because it is true. And I like Cynthia, but Cynthia, girl, you have never been that type to get somebody together for doing you wrong on this show. You have never done that. So for you to act like it, it's like, girl, that's why Porsha said that girl bye, and everybody over here laughing. So the girls get back inside and Cynthia starts passing out awards for everybody to know who's the shadiest, who's the thirstiest, and it was just a bunch of mess. But the one award that made me think was when they got to talking about insecurities. And everybody was sharing some real insecurities. I appreciate Shamia sharing about, you know, her C-section thing. I thought that was cute. Marlo talking about her edges and stuff and her big feet, girl. That's gonna come back to bite her, girl, because Kenya can be right messing with that. I think Candy's talking about some dark circles. I don't know what dark circles Candy's talking about. But Kenya revealed that her relationship is something she's insecure about. And I just don't feel like it was a real moment. I don't feel like it was a real moment because I think that this relationship is forced. I think that this whole relationship, I don't believe it. I don't know what to believe. Like, they just both look like actors in this. It just, nothing about Kenya and Mark's relationship comes off as authentic. It just comes off as something that they're doing for TV. And the way that Kenya brought it up, and she was like, oh, I didn't want to talk about it. Then why did you bring it up? Like, why would you bring up, oh, I'm insecure about my relationship, and then Porsha starts to get into the conversation, and then you don't want to talk about it? Like, I didn't want to talk about it. Then why did you bring it up? Why, girl? You could have just said, well, I'm insecure about my ashy heels or something, like my ashy feet. Girl, it's just, I was just like, girl, can you move on with this fake mess? So this episode was like, I ain't gonna say it was like really, really good, but it was just so much happening. I actually can talk about it a little more. But girl, I ain't finna spend no 30 minutes talking about this episode of Housewives. I say for the next week's episode, because I think it's gonna be a little bit boring, but it's gonna have some cute elements and stuff. But y'all tell me what y'all thought about this episode of Housewives. Tell me what y'all thought about my review. So next episode, Candy is gonna be talking to Nene, and Nene is going to reveal that she heard a conversation that Cynthia had, and she was being recorded. I think that conversation was recorded by Yovanna. I think Yovanna is a snake, and I think Yovanna got some tea on the girls, and it's gonna come out. Also, in the next episode, like I told y'all, Kayla and Todd gonna be talking about Todd being, emotionally detached. I can't wait for that. And then Kenya gonna pooch in on Marlo at her wig launch party or whatever with some bags talking about some edgeless, or something about some edges, because y'all know Marlo had just revealed that that she's insecure about her edges, and that's about to be a mess, because the way Marlo looked in that thing, I hollered and I screamed. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12. Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk y'all later on tonight.